Hey folks, Mac T here, and as you can see as we're going through this video that I am going and trying to find the EGR cooler because I've been using coolant and had to dump in a couple quarts over the last 6 months, so now it's starting to increase in usage. So I went ahead and looked up technical service bulletin for the 2-liter EcoBoost, they say an illuminated MIL with various DTCs and or low coolant level, white smoke from tailpipe, and or external coolant leak. Now I get a slight twinge of coolant when I stick my head under there when it's hot, so I'm not doubting that I have some coolant, and I even see some seepage a little places as you saw in the video. It's just wet. I don't see anything. It might be just because of the heat. It evaporates off quickly. But this TSB is a 20-2234, and it is for the Ford Edge 2019 through 2020 for the 2.0 EcoBoost, and it's also for the 2019 through 2020 Nautilus with the 2.0 EcoBoost. Basically, they're saying they're equipped with the 2.0 EcoBoost may exhibit illuminated malfunction indicator light MIL, and with the trouble codes of P0128, P0217, P044C, P1026, P1285, P1299, P139A, and or P2457, stored in the powertrain control module PCM. Vehicle instrument panel cluster and or external coolant leak. Okay, it may have that white smoke and over temperature warning because the coolant gets really low if you don't check it. And quite frankly, I check mine all the time, so I carry coolant with me because I do have to get this in and get it diagnosed and taken care of. This may be due to the exhaust gas recirculation EGR, cooler and or settings in the PCM software. To resolve the condition, inspect the EGR cooler and or update the PCM software. Well, I don't see how updating a PCM is going to stop a leak. Okay, Ford, I don't see it happening. So we're going to go with a leaky EGR. But yeah, I haven't quite seen smoke except in the mornings, and it's hard to discern if it's because it's cold or what, but it is using coolant. Okay, I am having to constantly put it. I drove 500 miles today, and I went from high hot to high low, and that's just in one day's drive, so we are losing coolant. They do have to replace a few parts. I'm going to have this in my MeWe group. That's right, go to MeWe, you'll find this document in there under the 2019 Ford Edge TSBs, and you can look it up there if you go to the MeWe group and join and then check our file section. But essentially, you got to have the EGR hot side gasket, a coolant tube gasket, a cold side gasket, an EGR cooler, a EGR outlet tube, and then of course silicone brake caliper grease and dielectric compound as needed. We also have to have crankcase vent tube if needed. And then of course the labor time for all of this, the diagnostic is 0.6 hours. And then and the Nautilus, that's the Edge, and then on the Nautilus it's 0.9 hours. I guess it takes longer. But the Edge is 3.3 hours to repair this part and replace it, and the Nautilus is a 3.6 hour book time for replacing it. Casual part number is 9F464, and was the vehicle built on or before 09 July 2020. Well, my 2019 was built December of 2018, so we know we got that covered. So you go to step 2 if that's the case. Reprogram PCM using the latest software level of the appropriate Ford diagnostic tool. If no later level calibration is available, the vehicle is already at the latest calibrations. Proceed to step 3. Now, I do know they updated my PCM due to an injector fault. So I know mine's up to date and it's still using coolant. So we're going to perform a cooling system pressure test according to the workshop manual and visually inspect the EGR cooler for any signs of damage or external leaks. If any leaks are detected from the EGR cooler, yes, replace EGR cooler and the EGR outlet tube as referred by the actual workshop manual. So you need a new EGR tube, new EGR cooler. If you got an external or internal leak, I'm going to say it's probably an internal leak because I'm not seeing anything dripping, and if it is an external leak, then it's evaporating off pretty quick. But either way, I'm going to monitor it, keep dumping coolant in it till I start getting something where I'm losing coolant, quicker, because right now it's hard to diagnose these things. If you lose, a pint of coolant or so, or maybe a little more over a 500-mile drive, it might be fast enough of a leak now they can detect it. But I will get it into Ford and let them do their diagnostic and see where we go. I will remind you, in December of 2022, I updated my Ford Premium Care by 5 years and 150,000 miles. So yeah, total cost to me on this will be $100, and if you don't have it, you need to get it. Okay, so it's well worth the money as far as this point, because I think I only paid $2,400 or something for it. So this is probably a $1,000 repair, who knows, but you do want to make sure that you do get it fixed, because if you overheat the engine, then of course bad things happen, and then it ends up being a whole new engine, and we don't want to get that far. I'm carrying a jug of coolant with me just in case, and if you have a suspected leak like this and using coolant, you might want to get it in there and get it seen. But anyways, Mac T, my feet hit the floor today. I'm having a great day. I want you to have a great day too. Remember, join this MeWe, and also remember, hit that subscribe button, make some comments, folks. Make this a more active thing. The more active you make this below the video, the more notoriety I get as far as YouTube algorithm seeing it and putting me up higher on the scale. So share it, like it, subscribe, all that good stuff. Ring the bell, and we can get through it pretty good. In the meantime, hey, there may or may not be something after this, but if there isn't, at least there'll be some pictures and some music, along with Mercy Girl giving her one-liners.
Thank you for watching MacT's videos, and remember to like and subscribe. This is a Mercy Girl production.